Those of us who work in construction are essential workers for a reason. Shelter is an essential human need. It keeps us safe, happy, healthy, and warm. In many ways, we're lucky. Doing essential work means we can keep working, even through a pandemic. But how, as business owners, do we keep our operations running and our employees safe? And as leaders in the community, how do we continue to guide others through this pandemic? When the public's health is on the line, the medical facts take precedence over opinion. Regardless of your politics, your stance on masks, or the current situation in your community, none of us want to be the source of outbreaks. And none of us want to lose business because we have to put our workers on sick leave. But it can feel overwhelming trying to keep up with the changing demands of COVID safety or the latest suggestions from the news. So let's talk about some super simple ways that you can stay compliant, keep your team safe, talk to them about COVID-19 safety, and keep your business running. Here are the main points for you to walk away with from this video. We'll go deeper into each of these ideas one by one. Be a mythbuster. You or someone designated on your team should be the single person responsible for the latest facts about COVID-19 and the person who gives that information to your crew. Manage risk. Figure out what the risks are on your specific job site and then create a plan to teach your employees how to keep themselves and each other safe. Plan ahead. Create a plan for what you'll do if a worker tests positive for COVID-19 or develops symptoms. Know the law. Make sure you understand the federal and state level requirements for a safe workplace and employee leave. Lastly, be an advocate. Help workers find resources to address physical and mental stress. Yes, construction is full of tough people who can handle just about anything, but construction is just as demanding for the mind as it is for the body. And this is your moment to be a caring leader inside and out. That's it. Let's go deeper. What do we know for sure about COVID-19? We know for sure there are a few things that slow the spread. Masks, face coverings, COVID catchers, whatever you want to call them, wear them. COVID loves people who don't wear them. If you walk through a cloud of virus, you're going to catch it, and a mask that covers your mouth and nose will help keep those virus clouds out of your mouth and out of your nostrils. Just one sneeze with an exposed nose can spread the virus several feet. Think of it this way. That one person on the job who always seems to eat an onion sandwich at lunch will keep their bad breath cloud to themselves if everyone wears their mask properly. Wear a mask. Get everyone else to wear a mask, and thank me later. Distance. It's even simpler than the whole 6 feet thing. Stay as far away from your coworkers as you can all the time. Think of this as a gift too. You get to go to work, and everyone else has to leave you alone, especially that one coworker who eats onion sandwiches. Hey, if it helps, feel free to tie a 12-foot 2x4 to your back so anyone who comes close gets clotheslined. Just kidding. If you do have to be close to someone, wear a mask and put it on quickly. Hand washing. If you don't know how to wash your hands, you definitely shouldn't be trusted with a table saw. Wash them for 20 to 30 seconds or use 60 to 70% alcohol hand sanitizer. Don't share equipment if you can avoid it. Otherwise, wipe the equipment down with sanitizer wipes after using. And don't touch your face until those paws are spotless. As an employer or manager, you should hold regular toolbox talks to remind employees of these basic ideas. No matter what you're hearing, masks, distance, and hand washing will keep you safer. Now let's talk about a thing called a workplace exposure control plan. This is a fancy way to say 3 things. Figure out where to get the latest info, figure out who your workers are that are most at risk, create a plan to keep them safe. Let's break those down. The latest information about the virus changes all the time. It's enough to drive you crazy. But that's because we're still learning about it, and we'll keep learning about it for months. Take the stress off yourself. Pick 2 or 3 websites that you're going to check over your morning coffee every day to get the latest news. Choose a national website, a statewide one, and a local website. Here in North Carolina, it's the NC Department of Health and Human Services, but you can easily figure out what it is for your state. We'll provide links to go along with this video. Which of your workers are most at risk? This usually breaks down into 2 factors. First, do they have to work in close proximity to one another? Keeping good distance from each other is often easy, but sometimes in this industry you can't help but be close. Think demo work or hanging sheetrock. Secondly, do they have to work in an area without good air circulation? Certain jobs are going to have low airflow just by the nature of the work. Think working in a bathroom. If you can identify when and where workers need to be close to one another or in an area with low airflow, you'll pinpoint who is most at risk. Create a plan to keep everyone safe. This is going to be customized for your job site, but it should include all of the best practices I've already mentioned for staying safe. If you need to adjust the work plan to help create distance between employees or change up shifts so work is happening in phases and there are fewer workers in confined spaces, put that into action. We recommend you assign a gatekeeper. This person is in charge of visitors, vendors, contractors, and anyone else who visits the job site, and is responsible for making sure those people are wearing their masks and keeping distance from everyone else. This person can also quickly shut down any misinformation that's spreading around the site. Keep extra masks on hand in case anyone needs them, and make sure everyone knows where to wash hands or find hand sanitizer. Lastly, develop a clear plan for what's going to happen if someone on the job develops symptoms or tests positive for COVID-19. We've included some good resources for creating an effective plan, which we've linked on the website for you to check out after this video. Next, let's talk more about what to do if someone on your job site tests positive or develops symptoms. Here's hoping no one on your site or in your company actually gets sick, but it's worth making a plan in advance. You need to know what actions to take and how to talk to the rest of the team about the situation. A couple of things to keep in mind. OSHA isn't gone. All federal and local regulations that help keep work sites safe are still in effect. Make sure your job site complies. This is especially important when it comes to respirators. Masks can help stop the spread of COVID, but a cloth mask doesn't take the place of a respirator when the job requires one. Now, how do you find out if a worker has COVID or COVID-like symptoms? First, ask workers to screen themselves. Before the start of each shift, mid-shift, and at home after the shift, ask if they have a fever of 100.4 or higher, a cough, shortness of breath, chills, muscle pain, headache, sore throat, fatigue, or new loss of taste or smell. Second, screen all workers for fever at the start of each shift and if they become ill on the job. Use no-touch or no-contact thermometers. Finally, we have another cool use for lasers. So, what do you do if an employee has COVID or COVID-like symptoms? First, disinfect the sick person's work area. Second, notify the local health department. Sharing is caring when it comes to information about virus spreading. Third, notify your team if they have direct contact with a COVID-19 positive individual. Fourth, separate a COVID-19 positive coworker from other workers by requiring them to stay home. In this industry, we're conditioned to suck it up, tough it out, or rub some dirt on it and keep going through pain and hard times. That attitude can be helpful for demanding jobs, but when it comes to mental health and stress management, bottling it up just makes it worse. Be an advocate. Workers are often worried about their job security if they seem like a weak link to their supervisor or fellow employees. Over time, that worry can result in problematic ways of coping. Consider holding a toolbox talk on mental health and how to handle the stress, fear, and anxiety that everyone is dealing with to some degree right now. Some of us are afraid we'll get sick or that a family member will get sick. Some of us are afraid we'll lose our jobs. In some cases, those fears are doubly true for racial and ethnic minorities. Have open discussions with your team about what everyone is feeling, and point to constructive ways to de-stress or find support outside of work, like family, faith, friendship, fitness, French fries. Is that just me? Finally, as an employer, if you have to furlough or let employees go due to financial circumstances, make sure they have access to resources on unemployment. We'll link to those after this video too. It's a lot of info, but you can handle it. We created a second video on this page that you can send to workers on your crews to help keep them informed about COVID safety on the job. And remember, be a myth buster. You or a designated team member should be the single person responsible for the latest facts about COVID-19 and the person who gives that info to your crew. Manage risk. Figure out what the risks are on your specific job site, then create a plan to teach your employees how to keep themselves and each other safe. Plan ahead. Create a plan for what you'll do if a worker tests positive for COVID-19 or develops symptoms. Know the law. Make sure you understand the federal and state level requirements for a safe workplace and employee leave. Be an advocate. Help workers find resources to address physical and mental stress. In this industry, we can handle just about anything that comes our way. But a pandemic? That's a challenge unlike anything else we've ever seen. This is a tough time for everyone, but you can help your team get through it by being a caring leader. Stay safe and keep building.